Well, hello, gorgeous people. Welcome back. Hey, Liam. Welcome. Welcome. So, miraculously, I pretty much got the transfer window done, which I didn't think would happen. I'm good, Liam. Thank you. How are you? How are you? Yeah, did not think we'd pull off this transfer window, get this transfer window done, but then somehow miraculously it has come off. So we are pretty much back, ready to go. I will introduce the new signings. I say I'm just getting us to the first game of the season because there's literally nothing to do in pre-season bar play friendlies, and it looks like we're winning them all. So I'm not gonna argue too much, to be honest. I'm glad, mate. I'm glad. Sometimes you just have to put a bit of time and distance between yourself and a shitty result, and hopefully all your dreams will come true. Yeah, so we are just getting ready to start the new season. I've brought in 3 new players, and that's probably why I managed to get the transfer window done today, to be honest, is because I brought in 3 new players of note. There was really nothing out there, especially with our budget and with everything else. I had to let a bunch of players go, but we've brought in 3 players who I think can improve the squad. One of them improves the team, certainly. Maybe 2, if we're lucky. But we'll meet them properly in just a second. We'll get through to the actual first game of the season. Because why not? Also, I've had such a lovely stress-free day that I've been baking today, so that's nice. Wow, 40 streams. Well done, Liam. That's impressive. That's an impressive tally. There was a bit of an issue in the window where I was trying to loan out a bunch of goalkeepers I didn't want, and no one was biting, which was annoying. So that's a problem. We've got too many goalkeepers by far now. But that feels like a December problem, not an October one. But I'm sure it'll be fun. I mean, realistically, what is the worst that can happen, right? We'll get a couple of people moaning, but then we're used to a couple of people moaning because people are always bloody moaning. So that will be what it is, really. Let's see who's out there playing, you know. Seeing who be fun. There are some people out there who be fun. It's not a problem I'm going to deal with right now. Is it better? Yes. Is it a lot better? Probably no. Is it good enough maybe to get over the line to a title? Possibly. Possibly. It really depends what the teams around us have done, and I've not really seen anything that impressed me, so not that I know who anyone they were signing were anyway, but I haven't looked at a season preview yet. I thought I'd let the dust settle a bit, but we'll find out. It's probably going to tell me in a second I need an assistant manager. I've just got a feeling I saw a thing that said that our assistant manager had been stolen, which is not ideal, but you know, we'll deal with that when we deal with it, really. I feel like that's probably a sign. If our goalkeeping coach is doing team talks, we've probably lost an assistant manager somewhere in there. It's not the biggest drama in the world. It's not something I'm going to lose any sleep over. Who is Gibson and why do I care? It's Mitch Gibson. Does Mitch Gibson want to come and play in Tahiti? No, he doesn't. So I don't know why I'm being told. Let's have a quick look just at the staff, just to make sure I've not left too many gaps, because now we've got an assistant manager. It's fine. No, I gave such a good watch. I haven't seen it. I didn't have a chance to watch any football today, but I'll check out the goals a bit later. Right. New players. Let's talk new players. That's a good idea. So, in terms of our new friends, there have been 10 new signings. A lot of them are very young. I wouldn't expect a lot of them to come great, but we've got Guzman Vega in. He was free and looked better on paper. He has been here on trial and then signed and then sold, and then I've re-signed him, but alas, has not developed while he's been away, but I guess we'll get over that. We've also signed this guy, a Chilean defender, David Contreras. For 21, I think he looks pretty good for this level. He could use some work on his passing for a defensive midfielder, but I sort of see him more as a centre-half. He's been playing in Gibraltar, and then having left Chile, but he looks like a good little player. A bit worried about his determination, but he might get there if we are fortunate. Matias Gonzalez is a Uruguayan defender. Again, he was someone who's been here before, went away, left. I thought I'd see if he looked any good. He doesn't. He'll have a couple of years and we'll sell him probably, to be honest, but I thought he might have developed having played away for a bit. We brought in Richard Roach. He is a central midfielder, a defensive midfielder with some good potential and some decent-ish determination. It says he can play centre-half. Let's not be fooled. He's 5'5", but he came from Brighton, so he's probably got something going for him. It says he's played for us. He has actually just played for our reserves. He's not played for our first team. And it will probably be a little while before he does, but it's nice to see he's doing something. Reda Hadraf is a Dutch defensive mid. I haven't been specifically targeting defensive mids. There was just very little available. He came in from Hemel Hempstead, who, to be honest, they're a pretty decent team. They produce pretty decent youngsters. He might come good for us. He looks decent all round. He is a full-size human almost, so despite an ambitious personality, could turn good. One thing that does worry me with him, Evening Simon, thank you for the yeah, the thing that worries me with Reda Hadraf is he's a defensive midfielder who can neither pass nor tackle, so we'll take that for what it's worth. Connor Cole was a player I'm a little bit excited about, not massively, but I think he's pretty good. Left winger, he joins from Sunderland. Doesn't really have much pace, but it really was a beggars can't be choosers. Like when I looked at the recruitment page, I had 83 players to pick from, so there wasn't a lot of business I could do, unfortunately, with what we had, and I just had to see what I could pick up from the release players. We've got Carlos Embalo, a left back from Guinea-Bissau. He's reasonably quick for this level. Technicals are honestly good for nothing, but he can play reasonably badly everywhere on the pitch. So we'll make the best of that. He's joined us from Chelsea, so we'll make of that what we'll make of that. Right. This fella, too much hair. It's a problem, but we'll solve it one day. Again, nothing going for him technically. He's all pace. Doesn't even have any mentals, but he was worth a pump. He's from Leicester. He's played for our reserves already. He's wanted on loan by Fay P. He might be okay. We'll see. Well, these cookies are fantastic, but they're very sticky. Shamari Sinclair, Jamaican defender, because we all love a Jamaican defender. He's reasonably reasonable. Again, technicals are rubbish, but he's 19, so we'll just drag what we can out of him. He's formerly of Fulham. As I said, really was a slim pickings kind of summer. And then the last guy was this guy, Daniel Pereira, who is from Agropecuario, which I've never heard of. Presumably in Argentina. He's quick. He plays on the left wing. Is that all of the players I've signed? It can't be all of the players I've signed. I must have picked up some players in the summer. I did. Okay. So, first go through was this guy, Carlos Eduardo. He is a Brazilian centre-half. He's 6'2" with 17 jumping reach and 12 heading. 14 for marking, 13 for positioning, only 8 for tackling. It's going to be a younger squad. It's always going to be a younger squad. We can't afford to sign anyone with any experience. But he looks reasonably good aside from his tackling, which hopefully we can get him to develop naturally. I don't think he's an awful player. He joined us from Barra, who are presumably third or fourth tier in Brazil. They're not a big team by any stretch of the imagination, but like I said, we're very much in a beggars can't be choosers situation with this squad. We've brought in Yunus Mohammed. He is a defensive midfielder who can play sort of everywhere, primarily as an attacking midfielder apparently, from Nigeria. He's 18. He's reasonably good in mentals and physicals, and he can dribble and finish a little bit. In fact, looking at him, he probably is an attacking midfielder. Not a great one, but an attacking midfielder. He's joined us from Chelsea as well, so we did a little bit of shopping in West London, went to Harrods and all that good stuff. And then we signed in Sheriff Alili. He's a German. He's a defensive midfielder. Really good potential, 15 determination, 16 natural fitness, pace is alright. He can pass the ball, his vision's pretty good. First touch is pretty strong. He's joined us from VfB Stuttgart. So, Simon with the 35. Oh, there we go. 35 stream streak. The magic continues. Amazing. Anyone's got to streaks that size given the troubles of the last couple of weeks. But magically done. Yeah, so we're going to go play our first game of the season against Manuura. And then apparently we start straight away in the Coupe de Polynésie. So we'll see. Team-wise, I am just going to let that quick pick and see what it gives me. Does mean Karamoko drops out the squad, out the starting lineup, which I'm not sure I like. We'll move Des back to the bench, because why would we not start with Des on the bench? I think we'll put Shang Xiaming on the right, because I quite like Shang Xiaming on the right, and that gives us cover on the wings. Probably too many defenders, which means that Sydney, unfortunately, is going to have to make way for anyone that can play right back who looks decent. It'll be Potter, won't it? It'll be Potter. Which gives us cover, defensive midfielder, attacking midfielder, wings. Yeah, we'll make that work. Right, let's go see how good this new side is, shall we? Let's have a little look. Don't know why Shang Xiaming is saying he needs match fitness, but there we go. We'll throw some shirts at people. I don't know why you want number 9, son. You are a winger. You can't have number 9. That is a little bit dirty. Not sure I'm okay with that. David Contreras, giving my number 31. Feels like I'm pushing him to the sidelines. I'm not. So, there we go. That's our squad. That's our team. Those are our new signings. Hopefully some of them will come to be good players. We'll see. So good. Right. Make full use of home advantage. That's a good shout. And they make the difference. Make us all proud. All that good stuff. Let's do it. Let's get this done. Let's get this done. Apparently our striker can only play 75 minutes, so that's fun. Eduardo Luis will have to be wrapped in cotton wool a little bit, but we've got enough players that can play a striker to fit in there if we have to, so it should be fine. I did do a bit of a job hunt in the summer and no one wanted us, so I guess we keep going until we win a trophy. That's sort of my plan. And hope that we can do some defending, because I'm not sure how good Carlos Eduardo is going to be at playing out from the back, because he can't really pass the ball. So that's going to be a concern. Or head it to one of his own teammates, which is more of a concern. But they've missed, so we're happy. We're good. We're starting off well. I'll have a proper look at where we're supposed to finish at the end of the season in a moment. But for now, we just kind of keep going and push for a goal, hopefully. Might take a little while for us to get into kind of rhythm, maybe, but We've only got 2 new players in the starting lineup. They should all know each other reasonably well at this point. So, you know, we'll make of it what we make of it, I suppose, along the way. Alright, come on, let's defend, score. That's the plan, is to score. Right, Camacho finds Mario Jose to Caracas, to Luis, to Shang Xiaoming, who finds Caracas back again. Shang Xiaoming is through, cuts it back, and ooh, it was close. We're knocking on the door. We're getting ready to say hello. We're perhaps a little bit away from actually saying hello, but we're knocking. Right, defend. Good stuff. Good goalkeeping. Really happy with Nazir since he's come in. Really like him as a goalkeeper. Well, obviously I wouldn't take him to like Real Madrid, but for this level, he's not too bad. Certainly more than serviceable. And still has quite a lot of development left in him. It's not impossible he could outgrow this league, but I've said that just he makes a really horrible goalkeeping error. Maybe that was not quite what I was looking for, but that was standard. We all expected that the second I was praising a player. And now we have to dig in, because unless they've made some enormous signings this season, we should be beating them quite easily. Because I seem to remember they finished very low in the table last year. Right, half time. Evenish game. Let's grab Nasir. Oh no, that's better display second half is a good shout. Right, individuals. Nasir, Redigolo, Camacho, and Cole. Not happy, get better. Everyone else, keep going, get better, please. That's all I'm asking for. Interesting. Don't know what that was about. Right. Let's do it. Let's do goals. Demand more. Can having a team of under 21 players impact performances, or is it not that realistic? Yes and no. I mean, I've built a lot of really good teams of teenagers, but it's not a mechanic under the hood I'm like super familiar with. I'll say that. Like if it's there, it's very subtle. Let's put Marcos Jose there. Bit concerned with Nazir not recovering after that mistake. But I'm sure there are a couple of players in this team actually who are in their like mid-20s. I'm sure I must have one or two here. Marcos Jose is 22. Hasn't learnt to run any faster than snail's pace yet, but I'm sure he'll get there. Shang Xiaoming's 25. Mario Jose is 22. Carlos Eduardo's day is 19, isn't he? Redigolo, is he older? Not really. I guess the average age of this team is about 22. That it feels like it's about 22. It's definitely lacking some experience, though. But unfortunately, either any players with experience I can find, I either can't afford or they're not very good. Like I did have over the summer a 39-year-old Swede on trial, and he was rubbish. He was genuinely awful. So yes and no. Right, let's put Des there, and in fact we have to put Des at the back, aren't we? Which is a shame. But I guess that means Potter goes in there. It's probably not going to change much in 2 minutes, but opening game of the season, I'm not stressing just yet. Because you can't win the title on day one anyway. Give these guys a chance to get to know each other a little bit. Maybe we'll be cooking. Maybe. Every time I see a save bar, it scares me. Every time. Cool. Thanks for the insightful question, Dave. Decided he's called Dave. Don't know why. Right. League table. Where is the... Why is it down there now? Right. Season preview says 5th. The team we just lost to are supposed to finish 8th, but I'd like to think we can push higher than 5th. I'd like to think we can push. We are about to go out of the Polynesian Cup because, because AS Venus smashes every time we play them, to be honest. That's really kind of become the issue, is that AS Venus beat us every time we play them. I don't know what our head-to-head is, but I'd imagine it's not great. No. It's pretty shameful. That's pretty shameful. Although since we've been here, we've beaten them every time we've played them in a cup. So who knows? Maybe we'll pull this one off. Maybe we'll make it happen. I'm feeling reasonably good about it. I will stop munching on cookies eventually, but these are really good. I know I have to say that because I made them, but they are really good. Do love a good cookie. Especially one made at home. Right, come on. We're going to be AS Venus. We're going to get a run of form going. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. We're gonna pull this one off. That's the plan. I'm sure it'll be fine. Right. Redigolo is tired, which means that James Dunn has to. I was looking for a right back all summer. I couldn't find one. With a gun to my head, I couldn't have produced a right back. I really couldn't. I looked everywhere and couldn't find one worth buying. Let's put Anderson in there, shall we? 60 minutes now. Oh. Don't really have a striker I can play instead, though. Because there's not really a natural replacement for Caracas. It's a bit lopsided, this squad. I really have done the best I could in the window to bring in reinforcements, backups, blah, blah, blah. And it just doesn't happen. Like I will show you after this game just how many players I had to pick from, and you'll see that so many of them are arse. So many of them. And they're all about 12. Like, bringing in a solid, experienced player was really not an option for us. Which is a bit of a problem, but they can only gain experience with time. You know, you think like how many games some of these guys have played for us already. Guglielmo must be approaching 40 or 50. I see as he scores. Caracas must be in the 30s. They're young, but they're not completely unproven. They are just a bit hot and cold. But the other issue as well at this level is that the professionalism isn't necessarily there, not just financially, but in the players as well. Like, you either get a player who is determined or professional, never really both. So you're just kind of hoping they get that sense of professionalism with age, unless you can pick up a really big name. Or just someone with like exquisite mentors to just mentor everyone. But the experienced players I looked at in the summer did not have exquisite mentors. They weren't even in that category that we've all picked up on FM at some point, of players that don't really improve the squad anywhere, but they've got some experience and they might be really good mentors. They were nothing of use. It was really problematic. And I could have possibly taken a gamble on a late developer in there somewhere, but it didn't feel like there were any lying around. Some of the guys we brought in this season, if they develop at all, would be late developers, but again, it's just about getting the best out of them over the course of the season and just hoping, really. I also realised I didn't check at any point how the OFC Champions League finished. Does anyone want to have a guess in chat what the OFC final score was for last season between Tofana and Auckland FC of the A-League? I'm going to say it was 5+. 5-2 is a pretty good shout. I'd be shocked if Auckland didn't score at least 5. Like, my plan if we got there would have been just to defend like hell and hope we could steal something. What on earth did I just witness? What the hell was that? He's pulled a Beckham. I don't know what the keeper was doing, but he's pulled a Beckham. That's crazy. Crazy stuff from James Dunn. I'm not unhappy with it. I'm just confused by what that goalkeeper was doing. He dived out of the way of the shot. We'll take a 2-0 win against Venus, but let's not pretend we've deserved it. You've not been good enough so far. Everyone else, just keep improving. That's what I'm going to say. Just keep getting better and better and better. And maybe score another goal from the halfway line if you feel like it. I'm not going to complain. Not going to complain if we score another goal from the halfway line. Just James Dunn doing casual James Dunn things, I guess. Right, we've got to get Eduardo Luis out of here because he is looking extremely delighted, but he is also only supposed to play for 60 minutes. I think we'll send Shang Xia Ming on as a striker. I know it feels like a rogue choice, but we'll do that. Anderson come off for Cole. Let's take out Calvo for Contreras. Carlos Eduardo for Karamoko. And just see this one out. See this one out. See if Auckland did in fact score 5. I did have a cheeky look over the summer at the A-League just to see if the Auckland job came up. Just because if they're just going to automatically qualify because of a bug for the OFC Champions League, that's easy. That's an easy trophy. That's an easy tick off the bucket list. But it didn't come up. Oh. To be fair, even if it did come up, we weren't going to get it because we've been rejected by almost every club in Australia, bar them. So, I don't tend to add people I don't know on Discord, but thanks. I'm confused. Marcos, oh Jesus, Marcos, come on. Come on, Marcos. Praise be to Jeebus. I sort of assumed so. But as we know, some people just talk weird, so we've all been to Bristol. Some people just talk weird. Alright. So, Liam thinks last year's OFC Champions League final finished 5-2. I am saying more than 5 goals for Auckland. I didn't bother to check because we weren't in it. So, why not? Or why bother? And let's see. Continents, in fact, competitions, Oceania, Men's, Champions League. Fucking hell. Now I'm even more upset we didn't make the final. Like, yeah, Stefana absolutely smashed us. Yeah. Like, I know Stefana did a bit of a number on us. But I would not have predicted them to beat Auckland in the final. I thought they were just going there to get wrecked. Can I have Cardozo? Can I see Cardozo? Of course I can't. That'd be too easy. There we go. He's gone back. He's gone to play for San Miguel. The man's an alcoholic. And he's available. How many goals did he get last season? Do we have any money to pay him? Doesn't want to come here. That's a shame. That's a shame because I'd have taken him. I would have taken him. But it does go to show it's not impossible. We could win the UFC Champions League. We just have to become better than Tafana. Gonna make yourself some Scranality. Good choice, good choice. I just baked cookies. I was a fan. Cyril has decided that was in fact a bot. I didn't even read the second message, but I'm sure it was fun. Were they trying to sell me porn or viewers? It's usually one or the other, porn or viewers. I can sell me cupcakes. I'm not against being sold cupcakes. This is a rogue side quest. There's a really good cupcake shop in Swindon. I'll try and see if I can find it as a recommendation. Just for anyone that finds. Never heard of pronouns? I'm confused. I'm so confused. And I have, obviously. Where was this? What was this place called? I feel like it's one of those things where the second I say it, Leah's gonna be like, I know who those guys are. Yeah, I can't see the message. I cannot see the message. I still can't see the message because they're still deleted. And I've side quested because someone mentioned cupcakes. Is it Kimmy's? It might be Kimmy's. It's either called Kimmy's or Glamourose. I mean, that's not the worst bot message I've ever seen. But still a bit odd. We've certainly had odder messages in the Discord. It was Glamourose. Okay, like I said, I know this is a rogue side quest, but if you ever find yourself in Swindon, check these guys out. Their cakes are fucking amazing. They're a little bit pricey, but they are worth every penny. I think they occasionally sell them outside the county ground as well. I think they occasionally have a stall next to the burger van. They do like a vegan chocolate fudge brownie that is genuinely to die for. Possibly in Old Town, yeah. Very possibly you've seen them in Old Town. They have like this little pink converted van. And they're usually out and about around the place. But oh, they have got a shop in Old Town. They have got a shop in Old Town. They've got an ice cream shop in Old Town as well. Maps. Yeah, they're next to. Again, this will probably only mean something to Liam, but you know the co-op is up Old Town. You go up to the roundabout next to it. They're just off to the left of the roundabout. Highly recommend their cakes though. They are incredible. Like, I quite like cake, which I think is obvious, but... And I quite like baking cake, but I cannot bake cake to their standards. And my cakes are pretty good. But these guys... Oh, just magic. Like I said, they're not cheap. They're not cheap at all. Like, one of their 12 cake selection boxes is like 45 quid. But, oh, good. Good stuff. Wonder if a Canadian would call it a roundabout. It's possible. I believe it'd be a roundabout. YouTube Liam, how are you? Sorry, I have to keep calling you YouTube Liam because otherwise I get really confused because I've got Twitch Liam and YouTube Liam. But Twitch Liam sometimes comes to YouTube, so it's very confusing. But hi Liam, how are you? Hope you're well. Welcome back. We've just won a game in the Polynesian Cup, which is nice. We're about to try and beat AS Excelsior. We're in a new season. Transfer window was pretty mid. Actually, that reminds me. Actually, that was a good self-reminder for myself. Funnily enough, I know, crazy. That's what self-reminder sort of means. I was going to show you just how arse my options were for signings. So 77 players found. So I've just got 77 players that I can pick from. And none of them are particularly good by any stretch of the imagination. Like this guy, Sankolo Maoni for 22 million. Fair. So this guy was the best guy. Yeah, I know we can't see all of him. He's a centre half. He's 5'10". But you just look at him and know he's rubbish. Like 1 to 3 for passing, 5 to 10 for tackling, 1 to 7 for determination. He was the best I could get of what I didn't sign. And it says he's 3.5 star current ability, but we'll see if we can take him on trial. I imagine either he won't come on trial, or if he does, we're just going to look at him and just go, no. And then like there's this, obviously I looked at Ross Cargill because he's a 6'4" Scottish winger. And he can sort of cross and dribble, and he's a little bit quick. But 3 for passing and 5 for vision. So he's pretty good at crossing. He just can't actually pick out a human being with it. He was a Newcastle player as well. And that was kind of the level I was dealing with. Like, there really was nothing of note. And then we were talking about, like, trying to find experience with. This was the Swedish guy, Lavino Peterson. 30 years old, 16 for determination. Realist personality is not the worst personality in the game by any stretch. Has been playing in Tahiti for a couple of years for reasons, but like his mentors aren't what I want from a mentor. They're just not. Like he can teach people to be a bit more determined, but I can do that with good coaching. So I'm not going to stress over it. We had Tupaya Ringi as well, who I didn't really look at because he looked expensive just based on everything else he's achieved. I didn't see any yellow stats, so I didn't even bother. We've got Powser Collins, a Samoan centre-half. Again, nothing notable, really. He didn't strike me as someone worth taking a look at. We had a Tongan, Maloney Manuolavau. Probably got that wrong. Actually, might be good. We'll have a look. We'll give him a trial. If he looks good, we'll get him in January. But I wouldn't hold your breath. Pedro Corresa, 6'3" centre half, just determination. I guess we'll have a look at him. He might be one I missed. There is a possibility I missed one or two. Ishmael Varlet Deneur was playing in the lower leagues. I mean, He's got a 6.45 average rating over the course of his career, and he's playing in the third tier in Tahiti. I think we can safely say he's not a player I need to lose any sleep over signing. And that's kind of it for players with any experience. Like, there's really nothing there. And even when I do find a player that I think might be good from overseas, like this guy, really good mentors, but he's not old enough to be a mentor yet. And he was from Hemel as well, but he's not good enough to be. He's not old enough to be a mentor yet, and also he has an unambitious personality, which I don't really want getting into the team, because I kind of want some players who are gonna at least pretend like they want to win trophies. Lineup wise, Gaglino's actually. Let's put Shang Charming back on the left, shall we? Yeah. Maybe? Or do I like Shang Charming as like a sub for this one? No, Shang Charming can start. Shang Charming can start. Who gets a squad number? Carlos Embalo from Guinea-Bissau. Yeah, the trouble has been with this window that I have not... because I didn't have any scouting budget, I didn't have any extra wage budget, I don't have any transfer budget, I couldn't scout anyone. I just couldn't extend our scouting range enough to have a real look at anyone that wasn't released. Which was really... I really need to get enough scouting budget to be able to properly look at Brazil and Argentina and like West Africa. If we can get that together, and we have had a few talks about takeovers over the summer, like our chairman is looking to step aside, but no one wants to buy it. Only some players from player database who are only A or B transfers. Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, it's very much slim pickings. They've got a Chinese goalkeeper, Deng Shengtao. Maybe he and Shang Xiaming know each other. Maybe they're mates. Went to school together. I don't know. Grew up in the same village. Does seem somewhat unusual to have two Chinese players on the pitch in Tahiti. But then it seemed unusual to me to have about 55 Brazilian players on the pitch every time we are in Tahiti. So there we go. Eduardo Luis has gone for a pop. He's won a corner from Deng Shengtao. So that's nice. We're not going to see the corner, but he won one, and that's important. That's big business. I'd like us to... Excelsior are currently top of the league, by the way. They are currently top of the league. Deng Shengtao has hurt himself, which is encouraging. Unfortunately, unlike in real life, with a hurt goalkeeper in FM, just smashing balls at them constantly doesn't actually yield results. Like, everyone that's ever played the game has done it. You've seen the keepers carrying like a bit of a stinger in the hand, or they've hurt their arm or something. You just ping crap at them from everywhere, because you know they're either going to flinch at diving for it or not be able to stop it. Oh, Gaglino with Eduardo Luis. What a boy. Eduardo Luis is among the finest goal scorers we've had this season. We're 3 games in, and he's had 2 goals. And I love some hyperbole, and Eduardo Luis has scored 2 goals in 3 games. And we're leading against the leaders of the league. They're not the leaders anymore. We're the leaders now. We're on top. Get wrecked, Tofana. We are on top. It does mean they're not. They aren't playing. I should stress, there's no way Tofana are currently playing, or we'd be at least level on points with them. So let's not get too excited. But the important thing is we look really good right now. We're winning. We're going to get another goal. Maybe. Gaglino looks fired up. He's back. He's the boy we knew before. Deng Shengtao is going to make a horrendous mistake and let us score again any time now. Camacho running back for the ball. Good stuff. That's it. Play it forwards. Keep playing it forward. That's what we like. Good stuff. Eduardo Luis coming short. Lays off for Gaglino. Cross goes over. Cross goes over. Edwin Caracas scores. And AS Taravao are, and this is true, absolutely enormous. We're huge. We're the biggest club in Tahiti, bar the 4 that are predicted to finish above us in this 12-team league. But aside from that, biggest team in Tahiti. I'm calling it now. We're going unbeaten for the rest of the season. Just calling it. I'm just calling it now. We're going to go unbeaten for the rest of the season. Even though I've only signed 1 player of regular first team note, and it seems incredibly improbable, I just need something to get me excited for this season. Because it feels like we're now in our, 4th season in Tahiti? Yeah, I know. Alright, Mystic Meg. Bloody septic peg over here. But this is our 4th season, I think, in Tahiti. And we've only won 2 trophies. And they've both been Super Cups. And I'd really like a bigger trophy. And I know that trophy they gave us was massive, but I'd like a more meaningful trophy. Something that really bolsters our reputation. Gaglino's going to step up and create goal number 3 here. Almost. Oh! Do you know how you see refs rating after games in FM26? I bet that's a thing they've taken out. I haven't seen it, but if I had to guess, I would say that's a thing they've taken out. Because I think refs got upset with being rated. Because as we all know, the only reason you become a ref is because you can't accept any criticism, but you want to be the centre of attention. So the only reason you become a ref, that and you were bullied at school and want to get your own back on some bigger boys that can actually play sports. The only 2 reasons you become a ref. Snow sucks, Benny. It does. And Benny, are you having a time? Are you having a rough time of it? How many times have you shoveled the old drive today? That is rough. That is rough. For those who don't know what we're talking about, Benny is in the middle of what they're calling the snowpocalypse over there in the States, where they've had a foot of snow in the last 24 hours. And for those who don't know what a foot of snow is, it's a lot more snow than you want. I think it's the fairest way to put it. It is a lot more snow than you want falling outside your house on any given night. Having a time last night. Yeah. You've had a foot of water, Simon. A foot of water? It's because you live down in floody Devon. I was going to say, I didn't see anything about flooding in Devon, but it might be one of those things that maybe the news have just got sick of reporting flooding in Devon because it happens every day. Let's do that. Let's see if that makes us any better. What was the trouble with FM last night, Benny? I know I kind of dipped a little bit, but what was the drama with FM last night? Oh, mate, again. That's heartbreaking. That is heartbreaking. Oh. So around Colompton on Friday. That's such a Devon name. There was road flooding. Oof. 352 in the last 10 is that's danger. To be fair though, last night we lost out on the OFC Champions League final. We lost in the semi-final of the OFC Champions League to our divisional rivals AS Taravao, who went on and won the thing, somehow beating Auckland from the A-League. Make it make sense. Saw made for the FM26. It looks good. Let's have a little doodly-doodly-doodly-doodly-doo. Ooh. I am not going to lie. That is quite beautiful. They've actually got a skin builder. Like a thing that I can do myself to play with new skins. Ooh. Can I move stuff around? Can I move stuff around? Penultimate game of the season, we're playing 6th, hadn't won in 5, 1 point back, top takes 2 red and loses 2. Oh, I saw that, I did see that. I did see that. Loaded some pics in Discord. Oh. Is my Discord signed in? Because it always signs itself out at random. Let's find out. Let's play a game. Spin the Discord. Oh. Fucking hell, it worked. It bloody worked. Oh, lordy. That is dramatic. That is some flooding. Well, we haven't had any of that in Swindon, probably because we can't afford flooding around these parts. And we're on a hill. Being on a hill probably is probably the reason. We are in fact largely on the side of a hill. Too much chalk, yeah, that doesn't help. But yeah, the fact that we're largely on the side of a hill doesn't actually help us that much, does it? You know? Flooding is rarely going to be any. Actually, that said, on the road out of town, my favourite road in Swindon, it does flood occasionally. But I just assume that just means even water wants to escape from Swindon, to be honest. Why are we seeing no messages? There clearly are messages. Why can't I see any? They were both crap. There we go. You just have to click between tabs and suddenly the UI works almost functionally. Our next game is against OFC champions AS Taravao. Now, I am not one to prognosticate doom, but let's have a prediction game, shall we? Let's have a prediction game. Let's do win, lose or draw. Anyone who guesses correctly gets channel points. There we go. Can't say fairer than that. Club turn professional, we might cook. Oh, that's what we like to hear. That's the big news. You buried the lead. You buried the lead a touch. I know it's a tough shout. It's a tough shout of can we beat Taravao or not. I'm going to say probably not. Only one other club is pro in the division. Oh, that's easy points. That's easy points. Just like I'm offering easy points on this prediction. What are we saying? What are we saying in chat? Did anyone actually go in for it? No. No one went in for it. Okay. Well, that was fun. We bloody trying to make channel engagement happen and failed. It's alright, Penny. It's all good. To be fair, I'd say this one is largely a foregone. If we win this game against Tofana, we'll win the entire league. They're that much better than everyone else that if we win this game against Tofana, there's a reasonable chance we win the entire league. Especially away from home. They beat us 4-1, 4-2 on aggregate in the semi-final of the Champions League last year. And I got the sense they were barely trying, because we were terrible. We were awful. They should have put 12 past us. Champions League money is no joke. You're right. It's good money. I do like building up. Yeah, 129 for the loser. Oh, yeah, the Conference League. Yeah. It's good money. That's good money. That is the solid dollar. That's why I quite like doing a rebuild or like a build a nation in a tiny European league. If you can get consistent European football first, done. 3 months of your wage, but if you borrow it, feels dirty. Right, Tofana. Apparently we don't get odds anymore. Anyone know why we don't get odds anymore? How does that help me? How does this help? Someone tell me how this helps. I can't put the odds column back in. It's just a generic prediction. It might be, but it's always been there before. Like, it's always been a thing you've been able to kind of check in real time. I mean, that kind of tells its own story. If we look at the Dream 11 for the league, there's what? 7 of the 11 players play for Tofana. They should walk away with this league. They should stomp a mud hole in us and walk it dry, to be honest. It doesn't mean they will, but they should. Like, there is no good reason we are not about to take an absolute slapping here. Which I know is great pre-game hype, but we should be about to, well, by rights, we should be about to take a slapping. Whoa, welcome. It is a nice day for fishing. How are you, buds? Welcome to the precursor to what can at best be compared to watching a football team get hit by a truck. Because AS Tofana, as I was just explaining, are phenomenal. And we are not. We are good, but we're not phenomenal. 302k if we lose in the second qualifier round. We are first round tie, then lose. It's 388k, which is 8 months of your wage bill. It is. It's good money. It's good money. If you ever play in Gibraltar and you get yourself to the group league stage of the Champions League, the business you can do is filthy. And it comes just in time for the window to shut so you can register everyone you sign. I've literally, once I've got a team in Gibraltar good enough to qualify for the Champions League group stage, which isn't as impressive or daunting as it sounds. You can do it in 2 or 3 seasons quite easily with just free transfers. I've been able to use that Champions League stage money to build a team in one window that could compete mid-table in the Championship very comfortably. And then from there, you're really just on a grind, to be honest, to the Champions League. Exhausted, but Liverpool women won 2-0, so at least you have no voice now. Well, yeah, that'll do it. But the important thing is the win. Are you guys off the bottom of the table yet? Because last time I checked, Liverpool were bottom of the table. Well, I could be wrong. West Ham had a big win today. Kept Liverpool. Oh. It's always bloody West Ham, isn't it? It's always bloody West Ham. I've said this a few times on the channel, but West Ham are one of those clubs. You know how we all have clubs that we just kind of irrationally don't like? They're not our rivals or anything. We just kind of irrationally don't like them. West Ham have always been that for me, and I don't know like precisely why it is. I think it's really weird because if you get West Ham fans as a group, they irritate the piss out of me. But you get them individually, they're all lovely. I don't know what it is. I've never understood why that works. But like every time I've encountered a group of West Ham fans, they've been awful. But every time I encounter one solo, they're incredible. I'm not being mean, Benny. I'm saying you're a good person. I just don't understand why the West Ham dynamic changes when you get 20 in the same place. I don't know why that changes. I mean, those turds that never get flushed is harsh. But yeah, like I said, I've never understood it. It's a weird thing. And like it's almost like the reverse of the Millwall fan. Millwall fans individually are horrible, but as a group they're not that bad unless they're trying to kill you. You know why? Fair enough. You can enlighten me. I'm actually getting a 60k stadium upgrade for free and moaning about it. To be fair, I can't really imagine that because the only way Swindon would get a 60,000 seat stadium upgrade for free is if the council got possessed by aliens who really loved building stadiums. Because otherwise that shit ain't going to happen for us. And to be fair, there'd be no point building us an extra 60,000 seats because we only fill the ones we've got like 4 times a year. So, Alaves fans, get to go on and thinks they're casted for the next Green Street Hooligans. That's fair. That is fair. I know it's another random law drop. When I was a teenager, fuck's sake, Daenerys. When I was a teenager, I actually was in a bit of a hooligan group. I was young and angry, and even then I didn't really see the appeal. I just kind of got dragged into it. So, go figure, I guess. And I'll let women play like it, playing like it, like every other SL side playing in the men's stadium sometimes. I'm pretty sure West Ham's women play in the Olympic Stadium occasionally. They play there like twice a year. I know they play there twice a year because they have to. It's the rules. They just happen to have their own stadium. It is one of the rules of the WSL that if you have an affiliated men's team with a men's stadium, they are required to host you at least twice a season. The only exceptions to this, as far as I'm aware, are Lionesses, for obvious reasons, and Everton, because they play at Goodison, which is considered acceptable. Aloes fans, as individual fans, are fine. Something about their stadium expansion changed them. See, they thought they were a big club. They do still play some games at the Dicky Hill, though. They do, but they don't really. I don't think they have to. I don't. I think they're exempted from the rule because they play at what is considered a Premier League ground. As much as it's mostly tarped off because Everton don't advertise their women's games very well. Singer Show 11, 12 years after I was a West Ham fan, it's an okay movie. I do hate the fact that now because I'm American people are like, oh, you must have watched Green Street and then picked them. Yeah. No, West Ham don't advertise anything well. It's true. It is true. Green Street is a film that I mostly find funny because Elijah Wood's accent's so bad. I'm not the biggest Elijah Wood fan in the world anyway, but I do think that he should have stuck to just doing Comic-Cons and repeating the most famous line of his career, which, honestly, bonus points in chat if I could figure out how to do it, for being able to quote his most famous line of his career, the best line of his entire career, because not many people know it. Into that WSL because West Ham have played and are set to play every game at Chigwell this season. Ooh. Weird. I was pretty sure that was in the rules. Not that I've paid a great deal of attention to reading the WSL rulebook. You know, it's quite a dry read, I imagine. I read the laws of the game once, all the way through, and I've honestly never had less of a fun time reading anything in my life. I might be, that's true, it might be. But yeah, for those who are wondering about Elijah Wood's most famous line of his career, it is, "You mean you have to use your hands? That's a baby's toy." Back to the Future 2. There you go. There's some random trivia for you. Most people don't even know that was Elijah Wood. But it's also the only convincing performance I've ever seen him give in anything, so... He was about 12 at the time. Knew it by heart because he was a little baby, and fair enough. Fair. Bring it to the third round is $646 to pay the wage bill for the entire season. Yeah? Yeah. Like I said, mate, you get into all those small European leagues and you qualify for Europe, you are absolutely laughing. Lord of the Rings is boss, and literally no one will tell me otherwise. Okay. To quote my dear hero Kevin Smith, there's only one return, and it's of the Jedi. Perfect trilogy beaten by nothing. It's 11 hours of walking, extended edition. Let's not. It's hard to fuck up a film about walking. Unless they stop walking, pretty much nailed it. If you said to me, I've made 3 films about walking, and they're all 4 hours long, and I sat down and watched them, they're not walking anywhere, you've pretty much failed. Exactly, 11 hours of walking, there's not even a game of golf. Bit of flying, see? The flying took away from the walking. The book's about walking. Actually, no, to be fair, the walk is about an illicit love affair between 2 hobbits. But other than that, mostly walking. I actually shouldn't bag on Lord of the Rings as much as I do, because I've never finished Lord of the Rings book, nor have I watched an entire film. Because, frankly, I was over it. So I used to work. I think I've told this before. I used to work at. In fact, I used to run the pub that Tolkien and his friends all wrote in, and I just got so sick of American tourists just coming in constantly quoting the books at me, like I was supposed to know them by heart. And I was like, "But I'm here to sell you beer. It's literally all I care about. Come in, buy a beer, take your pictures, drink your beer, piss off on your walking tour." Season? Tell me how you'd like me to address you. But welcome, I'm good, thank you. Welcome to chat. I couldn't have just stopped at socioeconomic. The vast majority of Americans are lovely. The vast majority of Americans are truly lovely people, and I will stand by that. It's just a very vocal, very confused, very ill-educated and ignorant minority that make the rest look awful. Save is going okay. We almost won the Oceanic Champions League last year and sort of bottled it at the semi-final stage, but we bottled it to a team who are significantly better than us, so to be fair, it was to be expected. I'm trying to essentially win any trophy so I can get us out of Tahiti now, because we have been here for 4 seasons. It's the longest time we've spent anywhere so far in this save. And as much as we have picked up a couple of trophies while we've been here, I would very much like us to win the league, the cup, or the Champions League. And so far we've just won 2 Super Cups, which, you know, they're nice and they're shiny on the old mantelpiece, but they don't really count. How has he missed that? Eduardo Luis, my friend, how have you missed that? But yeah, it's going very, very well. Going very, very well. We're having a good time. I'm not swearing at the screen too much. I've been saying nice things about Americans. So, you know, we're having a stream, I guess. Mario Jose, he should have started, to be fair. Trying to win the cup with Hibs. Oh, fair play. After today, I don't think there's much chance of us going down. Look, absolutely immense day. We'll soon rock up that table and probably end 9th. Alright, that's confident. We like that. We like some confidence coming from Merseyside. Come on, Caracas. But he's done it. Edwin Caracas again. Edwin Caracas. I don't think I've praised this boy enough. I don't think I've praised this boy nearly enough for just how good he is. Bearing in mind, of course, we are playing in Tahiti. Like, let's not fully oversell this. But for this level, he's pretty tasty. A 6'5" attacking midfielder with 18 jumping reach, who can actually score with his feet, and often does score with his feet. Absolutely beastly, the wee Colombian. Brought in a 6'6" centre back on free agent. Beautiful, love it. So in K1, you're 3rd right now. That's alright. I mean, unless you were expected to win it with like odds-on favourite, but it's alright. It's fine. It's perfectly acceptable to be 3rd. Always remember that 3rd is only the 2nd loser. There are other losers behind you. Well, there you go, see? 3rd is a banger. 3rd is thoroughly exploited. Your manager is still a teenager. I get the feeling there's some lore here. Is this like a, what if a 5-year-old was put in charge of a football club kind of save? Alejandro da Silva has just equalised. I don't like it. I don't like it. Who's messed up this time? That was Camacho, wasn't it? That was Camacho. Winning in the final of the Premier Sports Cup. I'm trying to remember which one of the cups in Scotland the Premier Sports Cup is. And we've been at Dumbarton in this save. I still can't remember. Premier Sports Cup is like the League Cup, right? And the Trust Trophy is like the Virtue Trophy. Someone translate for me. Someone translate cross-border for me. Is the Premier Sports Cup the one that finishes in like November? I feel like they've all changed names since I was last watching Scottish football regularly. I say watching regularly, like I do watch the SPL quite a lot. This season at least, but only because Hearts are winning and I think it's really funny. Which I know is not the response that anyone wants to their league, but I do think it's really funny that Hearts are currently smashing that league. Genuinely think it's really funny. Since he was dropped from a football academy, his mum forced him to get a job rather than sitting playing FM, so he applies to all the jobs that are based around women or with clubs that make him laugh. So Gimpo offered him a job. Fair enough. We've all been there. There are a few times I've managed a club because the name made me laugh. And I'm 40, so... That's fair enough. I fully understand being a Hibs fan and not liking them, but it is... As an outsider, it is objectively hilarious watching Hearts win the Scottish League just because it's not Celtic, and especially because it's not Rangers, because fuck Rangers. But yeah, just a thing I find objectively funny watching Hearts win the Scottish League. Yeah, we do all secretly stop maturing at 12. It is true. It is true. That is science. If you spoke to a sciencey doctor type, they would confirm. I know Rangers are second currently, but they're not winning the league, and that's what's important. It does mean the end of one of my favourite stats in football, but I'll get over it because one of my favourite stats in football is that Scotland has got the longest run in European football without a team from the capital winning the title, bar Germany. I believe. Unless you include the East German League. And they can be favourites to win. I'm still saying Hearts are going to do it just because I like the fact that a team from the capital is finally overcoming Glasgow. Repeat that. The ever-impending sense of doom. See, Benny, that's how you do it. Welcome to the chat. How are you, birds? I was saying that Scotland has the current longest run, bar possibly Germany, if you don't include the East German League, of any nation without a team from the capital winning the league title. In Europe, at least. Obviously, your mileage may vary if you're in North America. Brazil doesn't really count because they invented a new capital. Like if we take away the fact that Brazil invented a new capital and didn't give them a football team for years, then technically speaking, Sao Paulo have won several championships in the last 65 years. But this is the 65th season without a team from Edinburgh winning the Scottish League, if Hearts don't pull it off. The last one was Hibs as well. So yeah, that's it. The Aussies are in the same boat, but the A-League is not that old a league, and Canberra doesn't have a side yet, so... But and again, I'm not an expert on Australian population interest, but I suspect Canberra's a cricket town. If I had to guess, because it's full of like government-y types, so they're like posh twatty sports. Hibs was 1961 one, I believe. US Canada don't really count for similar reasons for Ottawa and DC often not having had teams. Well, Elodie, I think you're fine. I say this as a supporter of them in the MLS. DC United are the greatest team in the history of the MLS. We basically owned it for the first 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. And that's just what we do, right? So, I mean, maybe we've been shit for the last 15, but we were good ones. Scotland Munich is not the capital of Germany, indeed. I believe the last Berlin club to win a title in Germany was Dynamo Berlin in 1989, 88, possibly. And the last one to win what we now call the Bundesliga was Hertha in, I want to say 1963, but I could be wrong on there. Thank you very much. I do know some things about the football. I could be wrong on Hertha Berlin. I think it was 1963. I could be incredibly far off. No, I got my facts wrong. It was 1931. They moved to it the Olympic Stadium in 1963. So I was so close. I was so close to having that knowledge locked in my brain. So the last team to win the Bundesliga from Berlin. A team from Berlin has never technically won the Bundesliga. And the West German League, the last one was 1931. Yeah, so Germany is currently still the record holder. If you don't include the East German Oberliga, which was last won by Dynamo Berlin in 1988. See, I know my shit. It's mostly 1988. Not, oh, would have been, but oh, technical. All right. When was the last time a team from Bonn won the league then? It certainly wasn't in the Bundesliga era. So 1931 was our last non-Berlin, or our last Berlin winner. And I genuinely don't know which teams are in Bonn. Greuther Fürth, maybe? No, they're in Bavaria. In Fürth, shockingly. And Nuremberg from Bonn? No, they're also in Bavaria. I'm good at this. I'm so good at this. It is entirely possible that no team from Bonn has ever won the German league. That is entirely possible that no team from Bonn has ever won the German league. Sports. No. In fact, they don't even have a professional team and never have done. But they do have the incredibly named American football team, the Bonn Gamecocks, which I like. And they have a baseball team called the Bonn Capitals. There we go. So basically, Bonn just thinks it's America. There we go. Prior to MLS, there was a broken history in DC due to a failed league system. Yep. Hibs just gave away a free kick and they scored it. This is annoying. Yeah. A capital team has never won the Bundesliga or its West German predecessor, but I still maintain that Dynamo Berlin won won the Oberliga, the East German league, many times. I think it was 10, possibly. I think we should include Dynamo Berlin. It's not our fault they were split into... Wait, it is our fault. Fuck. It's not directly our fault. Like, it is our fault, but we didn't do it, you know? In Canada, it's even worse. Yeah, I'd imagine there's not been much success in football in Ottawa. Although, to be fair, Canadians are just... They're not gonna... The secret to winning at Canadian sports, so I gather, is to call your team the Rough Riders. It's true, it is our fault that part of Berlin wasn't in the East, that's true. Paid the ref, just scored, I was on, and they're saying offside. Happens. I was seeing a thing on Twitter, because, you know, I have to go on Twitter occasionally, because I'm cursed. And it was saying that apparently some random ref became the first ref to overturn VAR in the Premier League, and I was like, that just sounds like he wanted attention, personally. I don't know who decided to split Germany into two. I'd imagine it would have been part of the compromise between the Eastern Bloc and the USSR and the rest of us. The other part is named between the Oilers or the Canadiens. It was debut as well. Wild. We're wilding out here. We're up at 2-1. We're good. We're doing it. How can I have 26 long enough to know this? But is sportsmanship behaviour still at home? Yes, it is. Actually, that reminds me. You were asking about the ref rating. So look. It doesn't even tell you who the ref is. The ref is not named. Go figure. Go figure. I assume there must be referees in the game. I say this, I was going to type in the name of a referee and I can't remember. Is Darren England still refereeing? Is Charlie Braxbeer still refereeing? Maybe? I can't remember who it was off the top of the old dome, like, but I don't think there's any refs in the game anymore. I think they've taken refs up. Maybe they had some argument with the referees people. That's what I was just trying to do, Liam. I cannot find any referees listed. Let's just type in a generic name and see if let's see if I can spell a generic name. Let's just see if it lists a referee as a job. But I have a feeling they might have just taken it out. They could have just had it low priority. It could be a case of that they just couldn't license referees for whatever reason. I mean, I've typed in David and I've scrolled down and I haven't seen a ref yet, so I'm going to boldly assume there probably aren't any refs in the game. So there we go. That's it. It's not a big feature. It's just one of those, like, it will be nice to have it in there. But yeah, I fully agree that Darren England should not still be refereeing. Not to the extent that I agree that I would agree with the statement that Charles Breakspear shouldn't be allowed to even buy a ticket for a football match, let alone referee one. Is face in the game still a thing? Welcome, Duck God. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to think who was on the face in the game list. Let's see if Chris Giles has been generated. No. Who was the other one? Marcato. I'm guessing not. Charlie Breakspear breaks spears. He probably does. And then he probably stabs small animals and children with it. Weird. It just seems to not be loading them because Yeah, I mean, if I type in David and I don't see a referee, I'd imagine that it's been disabled for some reason. Let's have a look. Let's type in face in the game and see what happens. That did a thing. Maybe. Got Europe to qualify for. I need to win at home, and him Europe is what is a good thing. I don't understand. Sunshine on Leith, sure. Fairs, yeah. Okay. I feel like I've seen Sander Maas's name come up quite a lot. Is he not a real player? I'm pretty sure I've seen Luke sign this fella at least 5 times so far on this FM cycle. I think I've signed him a couple of times. So Sander Maas is one of them. There's Rashidi from Singapore. He's got 17 caps for Singapore. Simon Walsh from Ireland, from Drogheda. Bust the net. Which one is Bust the net? Rashidi. Scared to go to Europe. My phone is fucked. Need to get it fixed. Fair enough. Fair. Oh, really? Cool. So who is Matt Carroll then? Ocean City FC. Come on, someone decode the face in the games. Let's see what we can decode. Stefan Blok from the Netherlands. One of these two Dutch people has got to be Stam, right? Logically. If we're putting Bust the net in, one of these has got to be Stam. I'm not seeing any. I'm going to boldly assume one of these Americans is supposed to be Zealand, but surely they'd have the people's name. Idemir Balici. There we go. Facing the game still a thing, and Bust the net is playing for Singapore. That's a thing we learned. Singaporean international Bust the net. What comes up if I type FM26 face in the game into Google? So, what I'm learning so far is that they are in the game, but they're rarer than they used to be. Seems to be what we're learning. Someone has created an entire website full of like random Easter eggs from FM. That's fun. Apparently it's just a list of developers. And apparently you can put yourself in as a new gen. I didn't know that. That's cool. There we go. Also, the person who has done this has just casually scrubbed it all from other people's YouTube channels, which is a bit dirty. It was on... It's a sort out SI page, actually. But It looks like they've just been robbing content of other people, which is nothing new for Susie, to be honest. Don't have face mods to make it realistic. Might be a few seeing every save I've done has had a Gianna Zumbo. Yeah, there's always a few. FM24, the two big ones to look out for were Chris Giles and Andrea Marcato. Chris Giles was an FM researcher who sadly died, who would generate as an English striker in the game and almost always became world class. I don't know where Andrea Marcato came from. Presumably similar circumstances. Would always be a world class Italian defender. Every year. Played for us at Wroxham, funnily enough, I believe. Scouts. Yeah, we go. Have I ever got my son in a game? Yeah, but he was never any good. I'm out of Europe, lost 2-0 at home. Oh, the heartbreak. Contreras, buddy, you don't seem well, mate. So I think what we'll do, we'll give you the day off. Fuck, I was going to put quarter line them. It's going to have to be Tweets. It's Tweetsy going in. I don't think we've played Tweetsy. If we did, it was once. Literally once. All right, Tweetsy the Scouser. He's gonna sort it out. We're sending in a Scouser. Possibly off the bench. Very good, Simon. Very good. Very good. Very good. So Simon's here all week. Try the veal. Had a son in Gibraltar wasn't half bad on FM20. Oh, just showing off now. Setting in a scout is always the best way to sort anything. I've already got in trouble for making one scout a joke. I'm not gonna risk another one. I'm not gonna risk another one. Let's not risk another one. If you want things calmed down, it is. Did I ever tell you guys the story of how I got the Vauxhall Motors manager banned whilst in the stands? Have I ever told that story on stream? So Vauxhall Motors came to play Oxford City, and I was stood with the lads, and we always stand behind the dugouts. Oh, Caracas with a goal. And we were smashing them, and their manager was fucking losing it. He was losing it in the Vauxhall dugout, and he's running up and down. He's screaming at the fourth official and at everyone. And I was literally stood just behind the dugout, going, hey, calm down. And he tried to jump the railing and fight me, and he got banned for like 5 games. I shouldn't be as proud of that as I am, but frankly, you're a football manager, mate. You should probably have a little bit better self-control than that. I think he actually got sacked before his ban ended as well. If I remember rightly, I think he was sacked before his ban ended. Exactly, shithousery at the highest level. That's what we do. Oh, Calvo with a goal. Beautiful. We're all right. We're back. We're good. Vauxhall also got a massive fine from that game. Again, because of something he did, but not the same thing. So, our club secretary also used to stand with us. Because, like, everyone knows each other at that level, right? So he'd stand with us during games. And the referee was an Asian lad. And the Vauxhall manager was saying some horrendously fucking racist things about the fella every time he gave a decision against them. So the club secretary reported him to the FA for that as well, and I think him and the club got a massive fine for that as well. Like, it was probably the worst day at the office he's ever had. I don't know if it was Mr. Singh or not, but I don't think any manager's ever had a worse day at the office than that, and I enjoy the fact that I was partly responsible for it. It possibly was. I mean, this was a youngish lad. Like, he was probably late 20s, early 30s. But yeah, he was saying some horrendous shit about this referee, and I was like, well, that's gone badly for you. But yeah, he didn't have a job much longer after his little ban and fine and adventure to try and attack me in the crowd. Yeah, I'm not unhappy the fellow was. I mean, like, to not be able to take a joke and overreact slightly is one thing, but to be a racist prick is another. Like, you know, I think we've all had a moment in our lives where we've just not been in the best of moods and we've reacted slightly badly to a bit of banter. But that's unacceptable. I've got quite a few stories like this from Oxford City. Not like of getting managers banned and stuff, but like we played an FA Cup game once. And it was on the telly. We were playing on the telly in the FA Cup. And because some of the lads, not me, because I'm a non-drinker, but some of the lads were quite drunk. When I say quite drunk, I mean some of the lads were incredibly drunk, and they were singing some quite sweary things. All of them hilarious, as far as I can remember, but they were not suitable for afternoon on the BBC. Let's put it that way. And some poor production assistant. You know, they have the little furry boom mics they put next to the crowd to mic up the crowd. Some poor lad who can't be more than 20 came sprinting round the side of the pitch and just grabbed this mic and ran away with it. It was brilliant. It was so funny. He almost fell over doing it. I felt really bad for the kid for having to do it, but it was really, really funny. Like, I can't remember. I can't remember at all what was being sung, but it was clearly so offensive to someone at the BBC. In fact, it might have been "Fuck the BBC" that was being sung. But yeah, someone found it so horrendously offensive they sent this young lad to sprint round the pitch and grab the microphone away so the people at home couldn't hear it. And this is why I love non-league football, just for the random banter like that. But we had a few random chants that we started. So and this is what I've had to apologise to a Gloucester fan for this, because it picked up. It picked up around the league after we started doing this, and I felt really bad because I thought it was hilarious at the time, but it's upset some Gloucester fans since, and it's stuck around. We started singing "You've Got Six Fingers and You Love Fred West" at them. Objectively hilarious. They weren't happy. A little bit harsh. But again, there had been some alcohol consumed. This was also at a time where they weren't able to play in Gloucester because their ground was so badly flooded it couldn't be used. I know this because we also had some of our fans singing about singing "Is That a Boat in the Car Park?" Which again, objectively quite funny. Like, probably less funny if if you can't get to a home game because your ground's underwater, but objectively quite funny. I've not been to the new one. I'm probably not allowed in it, to be fair. that my picture's probably in the doorway. But like I say, I am a big fan of non-league banter. So sometimes it's outstanding. Um, there was there was a goalkeeper that played against us at City once, who for whatever reason insisted on wearing an all yellow kit. And this old boy who was stood like 6 feet from me started humming the theme tune to Banana Man next to me, and I almost pissed myself laughing. I came very close to actually pissing myself laughing. It was so funny. Just really loudly humming the theme tune to Banana Man. For those who are younger, Banana Man was a cartoon from the 1980s about a superhero powered by bananas. I know, crazy. The 80s was a good time for drugs, apparently. It might have been the 70s. Thinking of going to the Supermarine game. Oh, what a rogue shout. Oxford City currently play in the National League North. It's a bit of a rogue one though, in terms of which division. Banana Man. No, I think he was a standalone. Um, yeah, Oxford City's a bit of a rogue one because of where Oxford is in the country. So Oxford is the furthest you can be from the sea anywhere in the country. Like it is slap bang dead centre more or less of England, technically. Um, so depending who comes up from the leagues below, sometimes we're in the north and sometimes we're in the south. Like it really varies season on season. In fact, if they've not got relegated in FM yet, which to be fair they probably have because they often do. Where are they playing now in game? They've already been relegated. I bet they went down first season. They always seem to. Always seem to go down first. Oh, for fuck's sake! I've crashed the game again. Oh my god! It crashed last time I clicked on club history on stream as well. Balls. We can restart your allowance save with restrictions involving French speaking recruitment. That's fair enough. Cool. Cool. Well, the game crashed again then. That was good. While it's loading itself back up, I'm going to go find liquids. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, we're back. When I local play in national, closest play in Northern League Premier League. Yeah, I always hate that it's called the Northern League Premier League Premier Division or something stupid. No, the Northern Premier League Premier Division. It's such a stupid name. Then you have like the Northern Premier League Division One. Well, is it the Premier League or is it Division One? Can it not just be the Northern League Division One and the Northern League Premier Division? Who knows? Anyway, we're going to do about 30 more minutes, I think, and then I'm going to have to call it because I do, in fact, have to be up reasonably early. Fair enough. Did we decide if it was season or not? Let me know what to call you, honestly. But have a productive day at work. I would say a good day at work, but that's never been achieved by a human. Like I said, we will get probably 1 or 2 more matches out of this, I would guess. Night, we'll have a good night. See you later. Like I said, I'm only going to do another half hour anyway, then I'm going to go to bed. So, ready to start my week. In terms of streaming tomorrow, I will probably be streaming, but I'm going to get stuck into some writing off stream because the second book doth need to come out at some stage. Also, my mother really helpfully pointed out, just bearing in mind, Chrissy, fair enough, mate. Good to see you. I'll try and store that in the old noggin. My mother wonderfully pointed out. Bear in mind, my mother had a proof copy of this book, so my mother had the opportunity to check the book for me as well as I did before the book went out. And then she noticed, really helpfully, there are no page numbers on any of the pages. So that means all of you guys who have bought books so far have a collector's edition with no page numbers, and tomorrow it will gain page numbers. So if this book is ever enormous, congratulations, that'll be worth some money. If it's not, you've just got a weird book, but if the book's ever enormous, that book's now worth something, because for some reason it didn't print any page numbers, so I've got to look into that tomorrow. Oh, thanks for letting me know, Simon. I found out 3 hours ago. 3 hours ago I found that out. I don't know why they're not there. They're there on the manuscript. They shouldn't be missing. Ah. Excellent. How far roughly have you got with the epic read? Yeah, I will be updating that, so there will be versions that have page numbers by the end of next week. It's just yeah, I somehow completely didn't notice that it wasn't there. I said it was there. Fair enough. I assume the chapter numbers are still there. I've seen them. But yeah, I'll have a look. I'll see if I can fix that. Chapter 4. Now, obviously, I know where Chapter 4 is. I'm just testing everyone. Oh, okay. Excellent. Excellent. Good times. I mean, I assume you're getting some enjoyment out of it if you've got to Chapter 4, though, so that's a good start. Apparently we're chasing a fella called Luan Senior, which is remarkable, because this is the first time I've heard of Luan Senior. Is he better than our current goalkeeper when we look past the star ratings? Because if he is, then we go to the next. Still the introspective side. Fair. I mean, it probably is a little bit introspective and wanky, but it's me, innit? Plus a flashback, yeah. Yeah, I love to chuck in the old flashback. To be fair, every other chapter from chapter 3 onwards is a flashback until you get to about the middle of the book. So on purpose. It's to make you think or whatever. What do we think of this goalkeeper, Luan Senior? Are we going to try and sign him? Is it literature, innit? It's actually a carefully crafted writer's device because this one,
are you following me?
I was actually just going to ask you the same thing.
You can just fix it in a flashback. It's not a plot hole.
But you're hot.
They following
I may
Rainbow
resist
Menace
for a
Girl.
while, but we
Welcome.
both know eventually I'll give in. So why don't we just skip that? Why don't you put a baby in me?
Welcome into our little house of fun. Right, do we think we sign Luan Senior? Anyone got any strong thoughts one way or another? Like, my concerns are he's not quite as good at handling, but he is better with reflex saves. He's a better passer of the ball, better at one-on-ones, better command of his area. Aerial reach 3, I didn't see that. Aerial reach 3, oof. Jumping reach 7. Yeah, that's probably a good point. Like, because 13 reflexes, 10 one-on-ones tells me this is the fella you want in net when you're in a penalty shootout. But he's going to want to be a first-choice goalkeeper for us. So I'd say probably no truth at all to that rumour that we're chasing him. Probably no truth at all to the rumour that we're chasing him. Contreras, how unfair? 75. Go back in for old Tweetsy then. He's played his one game for the year. Anyone else? Marcos Jose is having a really poor season so far. Oh, we think much better, do we? Where's he gone? There. So we're saying we should sign him or not? Yes or no? Let's make a choice. Oh, we've got a split decision. What are we saying, Doug God? Are we saying yes or no? Or Elodie, anyone that's in the chat, anyone want to make a choice? That's looking like a no. He looks decent, but we have worked out that he has no jumping reach. Elodie says no. All right, well, we'll bin him off. We'll bin him off for now. I'm usually quite good at goalkeepers, but at this level it's just kind of a case of what you get that's vaguely respectable in terms of their attributes. Like, you're kind of hoping they've got a couple of things 10 plus in the right places and everything else is not awful, you know? Like, at this level, if you signed a truly top-class goalkeeper, you'd never concede a goal. realistically. Like, even if you didn't sign a truly top-class goalkeeper, like, let's imagine you signed, I don't know, Sene Lammens at this level, you'd still have a reasonably respectable chance of keeping a clean sheet every week. I was offered a job interview at the same name club I was at. I was so confused. I am also confused. Actually, that has happened to me once on FM when I was managing Lincoln Gibraltar, and Lincoln City offered me a job, and that confused me for a second. I also don't know why they thought I'd take it, because, frankly, I was in the Champions League. I mean, two clubs with the same name is so common. Especially in, like, Brazil and Argentina and all over South America, really. It's about 50 fucking River Plates. Okay, that makes sense. Now we get it. Now we feel the vibes. Now we know. Right. The thing is, if Caracas turns up here, we win. Frankly. If Caracas can turn up just for 5 minutes, we'll win this game. That's really where we're at now. We'll go very attacking, or we'll just go into like full smash 'em mode. Go on, get a tackle. There we go. Zhang Xiaoming's on the ball. Good. Carlos Eduardo and Camacho have become friends. They know what each other look like now. They can pass the ball to each other. Guglino's down the near side. Crossover to Caracas here could be dirty. Crossover to Zhang Xiaoming could be dangerous too. Cuts it back. Eduardo Luis scores. We're massive. We're massive. Some say it's almost impossible to be as good as AS Taravao. And those people are largely wrong, but very optimistic, to be honest. So, and we've scored without Caracas showing up, which is nice. But if our form fell off a cliff after I turned them down, oof. Oof. That's not what you want. Right, Caracas. Let's try Col in there, because he's allegedly quite good on the left wing. Sorry, as a cam. We'll send in Anderson on the left wing, just because, bless him, Zhang Xiaoming's a little bit tired. And then no further notes, quite frankly. Let's see if Cole can score from 10. The 10, shall we? I'd love it if he could, but it might be a step too far. I'd like it if we didn't concede a goal. Oh, Guglino, look at him. Look at him chasing down Vandalisio with that pace. Let's do it. End-to-end stuff. Let's go for it. Fernandez, big ball forward. Anderson to Cole. Cole's tiny. He must be 5'5". Eduardo Luis gets a goal.
Are you following me?
I was actually just going to ask you the same thing.
Tthank you for following. Chasing Lanely is
You're
fit.
hot. I may resist for a while, but we both know eventually I'll give in. So why don't we just skip that? Why don't you put a baby in me?
Okay. That's not disturbing at all. That's not bizarre. That hasn't freaked me out in the slightest. Good. Hoping one of the boys in chat is going to going to own up to that as a practical, but I suspect they're not. It's even creepier if they start streaming FM. Eduardo Luis has got another one. Technically, it's only a Connor Cole got the assist as well. That is an odd username. Like, if it's one of the boys having a bubble, it's weird, but like, we'll let it slide. But it is a bit odd. One of those times where Liam checks the account and finds out it was made 93 seconds ago or something. Right. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're in for a good shot. Well, how far are we into the season? Can't even find it anymore. Weird. I didn't even know you could delete a Twitch account that quickly. I didn't know you could delete a Twitch account at all, to be fair. About. One second. Right. There we go. 3 minutes old. Uh-huh. Cool. Alright. One more match, and then we go find some friends. And it's going to be in the Coupe de Polonaise. The Coupe de Polonaise. We are playing AS Taravao. It's done it again. AS Taravao seconds. See, I'm not saying FM26 is still broken, but the fixture schedule wasn't there just now. I just realised we're playing our own reserves in the cup. We're playing our own reserves in the cup. If they beat us, that's embarrassment. But on the flip side, if any one of them plays well against us, we call them up. So it's going to say I'm managing them. I don't know who actually is managing them because I've not dealt with any of the staff on this entire journey so far. But I guess we'll find out momentarily. Taravao 2. Staff, coaching team. Is there a way now to find who's coaching? Second team. Coaching roles filled. Coaching team. Cheese to call her advance? Yeah, plus I kind of do want them to play. They're being managed by this fella, Alvin Hamblin, who, to be fair, is entirely unsuited to be a manager. Like, he's quite motivating and good at nothing. He's basically Ted Lasso. So make of that what you will. His record so far is that he has a win percentage of 47%. It's a better win percentage than I've got. It's a better win percentage than maybe being shouty and rubbish is the way. Right, let's make sure we're at full strength. We're not going to... No mercy, just because they're our youth team, or our reserves. At least they've not been cheeky and called up some of our... I might even give them a little helping hand. I might let them have. See, Vargas is in the opposition squad. Fernandez should be in the seconds anyway. We could just use this as like a cheeky little match fitness exercise. In fact, let's use this as a cheeky little match fitness exercise. I'm not obviously going to give any of our best players, but there are a few players who are sort of on the fringes of the first team squad who could realistically get some game time here. Like, Dunn does play for us, but I don't mind getting him match fit. Mario Perez can play for them, that's fine. We'll even let Tweetsy play for him. We'll let Tweetsy have a run out. Why not? Would they be cup tied after that? They shouldn't be. Should I find out? Probably. But we'll live and learn. We'll live and learn. We'll just get these guys a little bit of football. Plus, it can't hurt for us to, as silly as it sounds, it can't hurt for us to play against our reserves just because. At least it's a worthwhile game for our younger players to play in that they should develop. In fact, I'm just going to do this way. It's far easier. None of these guys have played for us this season, so, well, in fact, oh, Jesus, that wasn't what I was looking to do at all. We'll just put them all in the 21s until they're match fit for 90 minutes. Feel bad for poor Sydney, so that he can have a game for him as well. In fact, he can stay there till he's match fit, because I will use Sydney at some stage, and Schmidt should be in their team anyway. So, alright. Everyone who's not in our squad is going to get a chance to play today. We're going to leave it up to our assistant manager. Let's go see who he picks. Let's hope that our reserves aren't better than our first team when I'm not managing them. Otherwise, we're in trouble. To the point where if our reserves beat us, I might quit. But we'll get them when we get there. Cesar Tozo's getting a game look. Size in goal. There are neither Kits nor Liam's in that team somehow. I've no idea who any of these guys are. They've really not taken advantage of us helping them out with youngsters, have they? Right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go beat them. Roland has played first team football. We know that much. Roland played quite a lot of first team football last season. He was a regular on our bench last season, so he could be dangerous. In terms of everyone else, Parkins played a couple of games. Hanger Kalis has. Biggest game of the season, that's it. And come on, Scissor in goal. That's the one. Anyone else play any games for us? I don't think there's anyone else who's played any games for us, but Roland has played a lot of games for us. He would feel hard done by not to be on our bench this season. So he might have an axe to grind. But Augustin Guglino has a goal to grind. seconds meet firsts, and firsts just go, lads, back in your box. None of yous are ready for first team football yet. Oh, Lower's played for us a couple of times. Yeah, it's incredible. If you notice tomorrow in the Super In episode, I think I pointed this out in the last one actually, but when we play Swindon Town, they both just say SWI. If there wasn't a colour code next to it, you'd have no idea what was going on. But tomorrow's Super In episode features our home derby against Swindon Town and a lovely FA Trophy trip to Guiseley. So we're going up to North. Yeah, I thought Superman should be SSM or SWS or something. Gaglino is just taking the piss out of the kids. That's all he's doing. Gaglino is doing a reverse R. Kelly. That was a poor joke. I really apologise. That was in bad taste. So I've been told by reading the victim reports. Such bad taste. I've got to stop doing that. Gotta stop doing. No making R. Kelly jokes. Even if they are the key to ignition. Happy on the shots taken so far. Yes. Keep doing that. Keep doing that. Managing Titkaeva ladies in the Cook Island, and yes, their scoreboard name is what you're thinking. Amazing. Amazing. We love that. Do you have to play your reserves at any point? Is there in fact a pair of tits likely to happen in that series, in that save? Right, Redigolo off for Potter, who looks complacent because of course he does. He's a lazy prick. I don't know if he's a real player, but that might be offensive. He's not. It's fine. He can't get upset. Just the league, and yes, I believe that was what we were getting at, Aladi, is that they are known as tit in game. Right, if Marcos Jose can't score against our reserves, should he really still be here? That's the question. Should he still be here? Right, we're going to take off Mario Jose and let Contreras have a run out. That is what we're all guessing. A separate under-20s doing. Well, you can't have under-20s tits. That's bordering on the creepy. I've already made enough R. Kelly jokes. But that's nearly Jimmy Savile. Christ, it's not an under-18s division, or they'd be packing out every game. It is too soon, you're right. Far too soon. Far too soon. Always too soon. R. Kelly believes he can fly. Believes he got shot by the F. Oh. That's a rough one. There was someone on Threads earlier who was like, what would happen in 2026 if George Carlin came back from the dead? And that was a very similar joke to what some of the people thought he might be dropping. Along with frankly, Jon Stewart would just have him on the Daily Show and then pull up a chair, sit down, and watch the world burn. Right, we have had an easy victory, apparently. That's apparently a thing we did. I don't know if you've heard the rumours, but that's a thing we achieved together as friends. That's what happens. What's happening out in the world? What's happening in the world? That's the next big question. What is happening in the world is what's happening in the world. I know what's happening. I know what I'm doing. It's fine. Nobody say I don't know what I'm doing. It's only blindingly obvious. It's only blindingly obvious. Right. I believe that we were back on the Archipel TV show Pluribus. Still watching, very interesting. You were asking, I still haven't had a chance to watch it. You've also, welcome, but you've come in at a port. Oh, Ank's up. That wasn't on my sidebar list. Has Ank literally just gone live? Why is it telling me that Ank's up? See you later, Simon. Have a good one, mate. We'll see you very soon. I am confused. Twitch was just telling me that Ank was up, but also not up. Which I don't fully understand. Ank can't possibly be live and not live. No, it says offline. Don't understand. I don't understand. Right, actually, I know who we're going to go and see. And it's a bit off-piece, but stick with me. We're going to go and see my lovely friend, Was Up Yo. He is a very friendly and incredibly exceptional. Give me a second. I will drop a link in the chat, because I think I need to update it. I need to get the permanent one sorted out, because I haven't got there yet. Invite to server. There we go, Rich. Right. Yeah, we're gonna go see What's Up Yo. He's incredibly friendly. He's lovely. And just saying he's gone off live. Is everyone just going off live now? Offline now? Because that would be incredibly unfortunate. This is just my luck. And maybe in Storm's Eric. That's true. That's true. He bloody has just gone off. Alright. Change of plan. Change of plan, since he's literally got offline as I was about to click. Claire's live. That's true. I was thinking, let me just go check, see if, oh no, Sim's still modding. We can't do Sim, because Sim is still modding. It really is a bit sparse out tonight. It really is a little bit sparse tonight. Claire is Milk Toast Claire. In fact, yeah, let's go see Claire. So Milk Toast Claire, I'm a little bit low-key in love with Milk Toast Claire. So she is a Project Zomboid streamer. She has a save on Project Zomboid where she's trying to kill 1 million zombies. She's not playing it tonight, but she has one where she's trying to kill 1 million zombies. And she was, last I checked, she was at 600,000-ish, I believe. And not only had she not been killed by a zombie in that time, she hadn't even been touched by a zombie in that time. No scratches, not even threatened by one, like not touched by one, not bumped shoulders with one, nothing. She's incredible. She's currently doing a wilderness run where there are no buildings on the map. There's no loot. She's literally foraging for everything and trying to build up her own base and stuff. And she is impressive. She's so good. So we'll go see Claire. I'm a really big fan of her. She's lovely. She's really friendly. Do drop her a follow. Do have a chat with her. Thank you for being here, guys. Thank you very much. But I promise you, you'll love Claire. She's funny, she's lovely, and if you're trying to learn Zomboid or want to learn Zomboid, she will teach you. So please do stick with, and yeah, I'll see you on the other side. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. See you very soon. Raid starting now.